With you guys the fluids that I'm running in my 05 H2. Underneath the hood we do have the LS 6.0 V8 engine. Underneath the vehicle we have the 4L65E transmission. When it comes to windshield washer fluid Fram, let me tell you guys, the stuff works. I have been in Vermont, down in Snowshoe, West Virginia during the winter months. Crazy weather where literally every vehicle is pulled off to the side of the road. I'm the only vehicle on the road. I'm glad that I've had Fram fluid for my windshield. The Amsoil antifreeze and coolant, simply put, it works, no complaints. My transmission, Amsoil, red cap, ATF. I also have this in the transfer case. Simply put, the vehicle, it's extremely smooth, buttery smooth. I actually rebuilt my transmission last year with some heavy-duty Sonex parts, including the 3/4 input drum. It's incredible, guys. I wish I could take each one of you guys out there for a ride. It's so smooth with the right fluids. It's good stuff. This is really good stuff. Now, I want to talk to you guys quickly about an external transmission cooler. This is a must. This is very, 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 very important. What will happen is these radiators will fail. When they fail, your transmission goes. All right? That's why you put this external transmission cooler. Not only does this cooler keep your temperature of your transmission lower, but it also, in the event of your radiator failing, your transmission is not going to fail. Now, some of you guys may be asking, hey, I installed a transmission cooler, or an external oil cooler as some may call it. Do I need to put more fluid, an extra quart of fluid in because of the larger transmission cooler? The answer is no. And ask me how I know. The reason is that these transmissions are very sensitive. I believe it's 11.2 quarts. You don't go a quart over, you don't go a quart less. What will happen is the vehicle won't shift, the RPMs will blip. So when it comes to fluid in your transmission and you install the external transmission cooler, do not put extra fluid in. Now, in the actual transmission now, it's calling for the blue cap. It's a lower viscosity. I will be switching over to this in my transmission. So if I was putting fluid in my transmission, I would actually put the blue cap in the transmission and the red for the transfer case. In about 10,000 miles, I will be switching over to the blue ATF, and I will let you guys know the difference when I go on road trips. I have also run Valvoline, their ATF. It's good stuff. Now, I had an issue with torque converter stutter, and I know some of you guys are thinking, ATF +4, that's not for this transmission. What are you doing? Let me explain to you guys, all right? Chrysler in the 90s had transmission issues. They came out with this ATF +4 stuff. This +4 has more friction modifiers than the standard ATF. Fix the transmission issue, torque converter slipping, etc. If you do rebuild your transmission and maybe you're having torque converter stutter, what I did was I actually put couple quarts of this ATF4, and it did stop my torque converter stutter significantly. It wasn't completely eliminated, but I got rid of most of it. So that's why you would run the ATF +4. All right. Not many people know that. Big pro tip. All right. So let me make sure I covered everything with the transmission, guys. Yeah, I have. When it comes to power steering fluid, this is very, very, very important. You can see this stuff's actually clear, okay? What will happen is that if you're running into an issue with your power steering and it's really tight, it's something to do with the red fluid. You get this transmission fluid, this is clear, okay? This is clear transmission fluid. What will happen is there's something in that red fluid, the red dye, that causes the transmission excuse me, causes the power steering to get really tight. When I was doing my self-education on the right fluids to install in my vehicle, I actually came across, there was some guy, I think he was in the Air Force or Army. He had 40 years of experience, and he talked about making sure you run clear fluid in your power steering. Some like hardcore mechanic from Nam. So literally I went through probably 75,000 forum posts, and I remember that forum post when it comes to the power steering fluid. Brake fluid, let me tell you guys, this stuff works. All right, this Amsoil stuff, it's good stuff. I've been on the road, and let me tell you guys, I've had to hit the brakes. This vehicle will stop, and I've avoided actually getting in a couple wrecks. I'm glad I'm running high quality brake fluid in my vehicle. For your front and rear diff, this Amsoil 75W90, this stuff's great stuff. Let me tell you guys, if you want a smoother ride, all right, you want to run this stuff in your vehicle, you won't believe the difference. And I'm not just saying that because I am an independent Amsoil dealer. I'm separate from corporate. All right, I'm not just saying that trying to push you guys in one direction. All right, I've seen the difference in my vehicle. Before I didn't have this gear installed, the vehicle would go down the road, whatever. Afterwards, it was just like buttery smooth. The vehicle was just floating down the road. Night and day difference, guys. Don't neglect your front and rear diffs in your vehicle. Most H2 owners, in fact, most owners of their vehicle, they don't keep up with the fluids. In all likelihood, if you're buying a used H2, I would put my money on that. Probably it's as high as 98% have never ever changed the front and rear diff fluid. They come in these really nice packs. You just screw it off, take off the safety lid, and you can get it in there, guys. Again, don't neglect your front and rear diffs. I can't stress the importance of that enough. When it comes to oil that I run in my H2, I primarily run the Amsoil. This is just great stuff. The vehicle runs really smooth. I'm really happy with the results. I actually have run Fram oil in the past, and that stuff, I felt it was pretty good as well. When it comes to an oil filter, you want to make sure you put a high quality oil filter, not only to filter the oil, but because of the rivets inside, guys, all right, where my finger is, I actually put a cheap oil filter in my vehicle, and it actually spun off because just the rivets were trash. Let me tell you, I had it tightened down, and I actually had lost all my oil in my vehicle. Now these Hummer H2 systems, all right, are extremely, they're good. They're extremely detailed. It came up on my dashboard, check oil or low oil. All right, I said, wait a minute, I literally checked the oil the day before, right? Put new oil in, and I'm like half asleep. I'm like, I'll check this when I get home. I literally drive down to the gas station, got a bag of ice or something, and I'm like, what's going on here? And I checked the dipstick, and there was no oil in there. So if you get a sign on your your dashboard that says check oil, come check out the oil. All right. Let's do a final recap, guys, of the products. All right. The Fram works great. Amsoil works great. This fluid, super smooth shifts. Again, I will be installing this, and I'll let you guys know the difference. Probably about another 10,000 miles. I'll let you know the difference. Valvoline, that was good stuff. If you have torque converter stutter, put a couple quarts of this stuff in. Likely fix your issue. Now, my torque converter stutter was actually completely fixed once I got my H2 tuned by Black Bear Performance. So torque converter stutter, it's been probably about 99% eliminated. Power steering fluid, Again, this is clear stuff. It's good stuff. Put it in there. You want to make sure you've got clean brake fluid. This will stop your H2. I kid you not. Good quality oil filter. You guys, I mean, this thing has some weight to it, guys. It's no joke. All right. All right. The oil works out well. And this gear fluid, let me tell you guys, you change all your fluids in your H2, you're going to see a night and day difference. It's no joke. Now, if this video has helped you guys and you are looking for new fluids in your vehicle, I am an independent Amsoil dealer. I'm separate from corporate. If you click on the link below, I get a small commission. It's a win-win for you. Your H2 is going to run well, and it's a win-win for me. I get a couple extra bucks. What else do I have for you guys? When it comes to preferred membership with Amsoil, right now, this is July 4th, 2025. It's only $20. You make your money back on your first purchase. So that's about it, guys. I will be coming out with some more detailed videos when it comes to transmission, maintenance, fluid. So stay tuned for those. But again, I can't wait to hear you guys talk about the results. If you switch over to Amsoil, switch over to the Lube Guard, I can't stress this enough, guys. Get the right fluids in your vehicle. Make sure you get that transmission oil cooler installed. And I know I repeat myself in this video. I know I repeat myself in a lot of videos when it comes to certain parts of the vehicle. It helps you guys learn. Again, my video is designed for beginners. That's what I'm working myself towards. But I can't stress this enough, guys. That is extremely, extremely important. Again, if you've stuck with me to the 12-minute mark, good luck. I can't wait to see you at a car show. Can't wait to see pictures of your H2. Thanks again for watching.